Hello, what's up everyone? Welcome to the 31st episode of the 5-Star Talk podcast with JB and
Millie.
So this is going to be a bit of a shorter episode, I think that's fair to say, because honestly we don't really have much to talk about, but we're kind of experiencing something right now that I'm personally been wanting to talk about for a while now. It's just simply been something that's been off the table for me personally, because I feel like this is actually my first time experiencing it, and it is Animal Crossing Burnout.
Indeed.
So I don't just want to make this like a half hour or an hour segment just saying I'm bored of Animal Crossing. I'd like to propose some alternative gaming, some different routes, or maybe even some things that ignite people's passions for the game a bit more. So I'm going to hand over to you for some alternatives.
So JB saw me kind of like want to pitch in there. I got a bit excited. So in terms of, you were saying alternatives to make Animal Crossing kind of things that people use to reignite their kind of passion for the game, right?
Yeah.
One thing that we have talked about, and obviously right now we're kind of wanting your guys' feedback as well. You know, we'll be here in the premiere and we'd love to hear what you have to say. But one thing we've considered to kind of reignite that Animal Crossing fire is to almost start streaming restarting the game. So maybe, I don't know, maybe for me it's got to a point where there's just maybe too much, that I almost miss that really simple island where you were really excited about getting your first few DIYs and that kind of thing. Like, I adored Bunny Day last year, and because it was like the start of the game, it was new DIYs, so I was wanting to utilise them. I've not done Bunny Day this year, I've not done anything, I've not really been on since even before the Mario update.
No, I mean, I agree. I mean, I have done a bit more, you know. I actually tried really hard to get everything for Bunny Day. The thing where I fell off was definitely May Day. Like, I haven't even done May Day yet. That's kind of something that... I heard that there was a new reward. Like, I think last year it was the briefcase.
It was a rover picture, I think, but I didn't get it.
I like that idea. It's just... I don't know. It's not something that I'm particularly passionate about, into the fact that...
Yeah.
I do agree with what you're saying, you know, maybe restarting will ignite things. However, it's for me a situation where I think that would be more your thing than my thing. Because to me, restarting would do nothing more than it's just the same game that I'm already a bit burnt out on, except all my items are gone, I've got no money. It's just adding that grind aspect to it. So now I think I can just dig up some fossils, get them assessed, make a bit of money, go fishing, make some money and everything like that. Whereas with this, I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, now I'm going to have to go around, chop all these trees and, you know, I don't know. I
mean, streaming would certainly be a big move for us because we don't know what the software's kind of like in terms of our laptop and that kind of thing. But it is a possibility. So I guess, like we said, we'll be premiering this. So if you're listening and would like to either drop a comment or something like that and let us know what you think, that'd be appreciated. And as well, how you recover in terms of Animal Crossing.
But yeah, I think right now, in order for different things that people can do to ignite their passion for Animal Crossing, I think I should say one, then you should say one, and we just keep going until quite simply we've kind of worn ourselves out of it.
So mine was restarting and streaming. What's something you'd recommend for Animal Crossing Burnout?
You know, it's a bit like that, but I would honestly recommend that if you guys are sat there and you're bored of Animal Crossing, if you can find an Elgato capture card relatively cheaply, I think content creation is one of the most fun things to do in terms of Animal Crossing, because for all I'm just getting burnt out now, this is me more than a year on to the game, and that's simply because when you're making content, it's not just a case of what we're going to do with our island, it's how we're going to design this. Is that going to be something that's going to make a good speed build, or island tours? Like, I don't think I'd do an island tour off camera now, because it's like such a fun thing that you can just showcase.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just think that content creation is something that's so good, and it will also help you reach out and make connections. Like, some of the best people that we know right now are people that we've spoken to when we were asking for an island tour.
That's very true.
So honestly, I can't recommend content creation
I was thinking
enough.
about, you know, you were saying how like some of the best people was through like island tours and things. when I said my first one of restarting my island, I was also kind of thinking of like some of those people, like, you know, when I say restarting the island's a good thing to do, like Annalise, I don't mean you. I love that Captain America shield, like, please. Do you know what I mean? Like, for all it's something I want to do, there are so many good islands out there that when I said it, I was just like, okay, no, because so many people have done so much good stuff. My next suggestion, I guess, would be about community. So yours was kind of, you know, through island tours and things, but also just things where you can have people back on your island. Like, we've never done this personally, but I know somebody who've had on the podcast, TJ Burns, talked about fashion shows that they've done on their island.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that we did was that, way back on the channel, guys, go check it out, was called Spinning Saturday Surprise, where we set each other challenges on the island. And to be honest, that's something that I would like to redevelop myself, maybe as a game show. So at the minute, we do have a lot of exams and stuff, so it's not possible for me to really push with the channel at the minute. But I'm thinking the start of June could almost be a really, really big turnaround for this channel. Like, I do think we've got ideas like streaming. Like I said, I'd love to invite people, for example, maybe Scurvy, Annalise, TJ, Amy Games, just to name a few, like creating that almost game show vibe again on one of our islands and have them round to do the challenges that we used to challenge each other for.
I like that a lot, and I actually think we're probably less than a month away from the 1 year anniversary of the first ever Spinning Saturday Surprise.
So that could be the day that we kind of bring it back, but instead of it just being us, let's have some guests. So one thing we used to do was we'd have one person bury something on the island, and the other person had 3 minutes to go around the island and find it. Kind of like your villagers can challenge you to do, but obviously at this time you don't have to wait for your villagers to interact with you.
I like that a lot. I like it. I'm just nervous about how it'll perform, but obviously it's not all about that. So my next one's something that I need to have a big disclaimer at the front of this. I would not encourage anybody to be reckless with finances, be reckless with money, go out and actively, you know, waste money when it could be used for something else. Now, obviously, if you do have the money to spend on stuff like that, that's fantastic, but I'm not going to sit here and say that this is a fantastic thing to do in all circumstances. But that is completing an amiibo card collection.
Yes.
So it's not really in-game as such, but if you can, you know, if we're going to expand this beyond New Horizons and just Animal Crossing in general, and it really does factor in back into the game, because one thing you can do with all these amiibo cards
is scan them in.
Go to Miitopia, scan them in, get every single poster in your inventory. So, yeah, honestly, there's season 1 to 4, there's the RV cards, and I think there's some in America, some in Japan. We've been looking at the ones from Japan.
Yeah, we have recently
and
managed
Sanrio
to get some RV cards from Japan, so that's amazing. And if you guys haven't checked out that video, literally a few days ago we did an RV unboxing and I got ketchup and we both screamed. Like,
spoiler alert.
From day one they have been like, don't like use headphones when you watch that video, we scream. Like, from day one they've been my dreamie, and to finally find the RV cards, and not only that but to pull ketchup was a very special moment.
So, yeah, honestly, if you can get a complete amiibo card set, I cannot recommend that enough, because honestly, I think I've put more excitement into collecting amiibo cards, like when we found the ones from Japan, into the game itself, and then that, you know, had a knock-on effect. So, like Millie was saying, when we did get ketchup in the last unpacking, I went more or less straight from that unpacking to the game, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to scan them in every day, I want them to move in, I want to, like, take them to Miitopia, so, it was just fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, another thing that I guess my next one would be, similar to my first one, not restarting the island, but focus in on the events more again, like, have an island, an element of your island that's seasonal. So I know that a lot of people have worked on their island for so many hours that it's all done perfectly and you wouldn't want to alter that. But just to have one space on your island that's like, okay, so it's Bunny Day, let's focus on Easter, let's do this for Easter. Okay, now it's Festival, let's change it up for Festival, kind of thing. Almost have a section that you know you'll be able to dedicate to each event, because I think one thing with Animal Crossing Burnout is everybody has reached a stage where they're so happy with their islands that they kind of don't want to switch it up. It's almost like because it is artwork what some people do, and it's almost like when you've finished a painting, you wouldn't want to then go and paint over it. Like, imagine you've just finished the Mona Lisa. You're not going to want to go and, like, drop a paint pot on it or something. It is almost like finished artwork, what some people have done. So it's kind of like you're almost scared to touch it.
It's like that episode of Doctor Who when they go and see Van Gogh and, like, he asks Van Gogh a question and he's like, oh, I need to get a pen and paper. And instead of, like, going to get one, he just paints over one of his paintings and the Doctor's, like, devastated, like, no.
So my recommendation would be just have that one corner of your island that's not this beautiful artwork, but that's something that you can adapt.
I like that. I like that a lot. Because I do feel that's at the stage where I'm at, because we've not really completed the Gatsby Island yet, but every day I kind of come up with new concepts, like, oh, I want a reference to this, I want to do that.
Honestly, though, we only have the beaches left to do for that Gatsby Island.
Oh.
And exam season's just kicked us. So it's like, honestly, guys, we have like 15 exams in 30 days. It's insane. But yeah, that's kind of put a bit of a halt on that island. But like we said, June is going to be an incredible month to be on this channel.
I like that a lot. I think that's going to be fantastic. So I guess that comes back to mine.
It does.
And this is, again, I'm being very inspired by some of the content that we've been making lately, but I think dreamy hunting is something that I'd love to do more of, and I think it's going to be a way to get people back into the game, in that it's obviously something that's going to take a while, but even if you're not a content creator, if you set challenges for yourself, like, I'm going to try and get Raymond in X amount of tickets, or I'm going to try and get the first duck that I find. I just think that that's such a fun thing, because it is a bit like virtual, you know, like with Pokemon cards, when you unpack them, you get like a virtual code. It's a bit like opening amiibo cards, but in-game, because you could pretty much get anyone you want. It's just a case of, you could go on island, like say if you're looking for ketchup, you could go to island number 1 and ketchup's the first there. Equally, you could use 1,000 Nookmar tickets with still no ketchup, so it's the type of thing where I think that it is a very fun thing. Obviously, once it's done, you may be still a bit burnt out, but I think that's a better alternative than something simple like, oh, just go and decorate stuff at Harv's Island, or you complete your Critterpedia, because for all that is a valid thing to do, it's then that, unless you're time travelling, you're going to be burnt out for like, you're not going to be burnt out for a day, and then you're going to have to wait for next month they're all over. Whereas I think dreamy hunting is something that you can more or less do all year round.
I think the difficulty with dreamy hunting, though, is you have to wait till someone wants to move out, and that can take a long time.
That's true. Especially for the right person to move out.
Yeah, because we've still got, we've got 4 out of the 5 of our first islanders, and we kind of don't want to let them go anywhere. I mean, that being said, if we were to do that restarting and streaming, it'd be on my account, because on my Switch, because JB's has our very first Sylvia, Cody, Lily. We couldn't let them go. I'd cry.
I love that.
If you accidentally click to let one of them move out, maybe not Cody, or maybe not so much Sylvia, but Lily, I think I'd actually cry.
To be fair though, I think we're very lucky that we've got loads of the amiibo cards now.
Yeah, but still, you can't get the starter homes back.
Oh, do you want the starter homes?
Yes.
Because we were watching Holly Crossing.
I crafted that bookshelf that is in their kitchen.
Yeah, we were watching Holly Crossing a few months back, and they've got Lily in their, I guess, in-game house, and it looks so cool. It looks amazing. And I want it, but I'm not going to, manipulate it.
Do you know how long it took for me to get that wood to craft those items?
What, like a day?
It was the start of the game!
Yeah, but you want to go back to that now, so it'd be
but not on that island.
A task for you.
Okay, so... I'm kind of...
I mean, I've only got one more of that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm running short right now. One thing that I really liked, and it almost got me back into the game, was Design Core. So Holly Crossing, Poke Crossing, and Console Kato all did this kind of segment called I just said it, Design Core, and they would set a challenge of creating a different room every month. So it could be quite seasonal to what's happening and that kind of thing. And that kind of got me back into the game. It also made me want to catalogue more and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and it was interesting as well because that was almost a huge community thing. Like going back to the first 3-4 episodes when we would do that on video, like the Design Core Challenge, and then Annalise and Scurvy would then tweet out pictures saying, "Oh, I did the Design Core Challenge that I saw on JB and Millie's channel. You know, huge thanks to Kato, Pokey Crossing and Holly Crossing for doing this." Like, so I like that. I agree. With that.
I would definitely say a huge thank you for those three to starting that, because it really got me engaged with Halves Island for the first time since wedding season.
Well, I was upset that we weren't asked to do the Valentine's one, but looking at you, Free. But no, I do love everything that those three are doing. And Pokey Crossing's recently returned. That's kind of some community news. Like, it wasn't like a video as such, but it was just like an I'm back and life updates. So huge thanks to Pokey Crossing. They are like such a great person. They're in our sub box. So hopefully they make a return, you know, permanently and a bit more regularly. Because I think that would be nice. Because they do make really good stuff. Like, some of their Animal Crossing tips really did save us. Like, with that tip where if you...
Oh, yeah, where you can put climbing walls along the beaches to catch the balloons. At Christmas, I couldn't have got the DIYs without that. Thank you so much, Pokey. I really appreciate that.
So they are amazing.
So, JB, enough stalling, back to you.
It's a bit similar. I'm not going to lie. Because for all I've said in like my first one, I think, if you want to cure burnout, become a content creator. I'm now going to bring that full circle and say supporting content creators. Like, there's so many people out there that's making island tours, that's doing design videos, that's doing speculations. Like, literally, to name just a few, all you need to do is go to our sub box and look. So TJ Burns has started this thing called Project K. I don't know what that is, but it's on stream. We watched the first couple of minutes of the stream. Hopefully we'll finish it later. But they're doing some awesome things at the moment in terms of playing with their community. And
is Project K getting like the project to getting KK Slider back on the island when you hit so many stars? Because they did restart.
Yeah, because they did restart as well. So maybe. So that's what TJ Burns is doing. Obviously, Pokey Crossing, like we've mentioned, is returned. Holly Crossing is doing some awesome things on Twitch. Kato's recently relaunched Breaking Bells. Like, literally, go to our sub box and look at all those amazing people because they're all doing some great things.
Even, do you know what, like Stilo and Cree and their island tours, just watching people's island tours can be really inspiring to give you new ideas and new concepts.
Indie games.
I did a Christmas island and I will admit, like, I sometimes feel bad because we do see so many islands and I'm kind of like, I want to use that and I want to use that, and then it's like, oh, I do feel like I need to credit all these people and that kind of thing, but before I can show this on the channel. But ultimately it can be so inspiring to just see what everyone else is doing.
I agree. So yeah, I guess watching content creators helps as well. So now that we've kind of wrapped that up, I'm gonna try something a bit out there, a bit potentially wacky, but it's where we pretty much do the same thing, but with games that people that like Animal Crossing may like, you know, just if they're not up for playing Animal Crossing.
Yeah, okay. So, do you want to go first or shall I?
I mean, I can go if you want.
Okay.
I think Minecraft is a really good...
No,
Minecraft is really fun. It can get a bit mixed up with like cringe culture in terms of like some of the people in the fan base can get a bit too gung-ho in terms of like aggressive opinions and stuff like that. But it's literally like if you just start a creative world or an easy mode survival or even medium mode survival.
Like terraforming.
Yeah, it's like Animal Crossing, but there's like no limitations. You could make a full-on replica of New York City if you wanted to, or you could just invade a little village and just live out your little life there farming. I just think Minecraft is such a fun and creative thing to do that I could pour hours and hours and hours into it, and I'm pretty sure I have at this point.
I mean, pros and cons to Minecraft if you like Animal Crossing. First of all, the terraforming is a lot broader. You have a lot more space to work with. That's amazing. Slightly negative side, I think, is that there's less furniture and things for decorating purposes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it falls down. And also kind of stylising your character in Animal Crossing, you can stylise them a lot. But, like I said, the terraforming and building elements really do pull it back for that area.
But I will say there's some videos that I used to watch when I was little like Sky Does Minecraft and Vicstar, like you can
No, I was
full
literally
on
just gonna mention Vicstar.
make things like
Yeah.
using like a one section of the fence and a pressure plate. You can make a little table.
Yeah.
So there are people out there that show you how to do these little nuances where you can make a sofa out of the steps and like two signposts on either side. So for all it isn't like Animal Crossing, like you're not gonna get like a sofa item as such. There are ways around that.
See, I was just gonna mention Vicstar as well. In that there was a video that he did with the Sidemen, I think, where they're having a competition of who could make the best houses, and that video really helped me with Minecraft because he was using the fence posts to make like a 4-poster bed. And that was pretty cool. So
I like that a lot.
I use that now.
And also in terms of customization, you can make skins. I think it's limited on the Switch edition in that the ones that they give you for free are like the Mario Mashup Pack, which I really like. But you can actually make your own skins. Like I remember playing, again, like I say, years and years ago, my skin was Venom from Spider-Man. And I like that, because that was literally Venom.
In terms of these recommendations, are we talking Switch or any game in general?
I think maybe we should keep it to Switch, but if you want to make one that isn't Switch, that could be like a kind of like a dreamy list of ones that you want to be brought over to the Switch.
Okay, ultimately my dreamy, I'm just going to skim over this one then. My dreamy would be to have Sims on the Switch. I love that. And if you like Animal Crossing, it's a lot of interior design. Not too much terraforming, but you can like place walls and all that kind of thing. And it's pretty much about just like living life like you do on Animal Crossing. But as JB said, that's not on the Switch. So I will skim over that one briefly. And I would say maybe Stardew Valley.
Yes.
Because for all the kind of graphics are a lot different. You know, it's very much similar in terms of placement of objects, living a life within the placement of how you've designed things. Kind of like simulation game.
I like that. Now, it's not something that I play often or very easily because I've got to a stage where I feel almost guilty because a lot of the time, and I'm going to admit this, I think it's fair to say a lot of the time that I probably should be doing other things like studying, I'm like trying to make videos. So that's where I kind of want to justify as much as my gaming as possible by like, you know, it's for the channel, I'm going to record it, I'm going to make it so that it's something that people enjoy. So I always feel guilty playing anything or doing anything, you know, in like kind of work time that isn't on like recording. And Stardew I think is something that's so difficult to just play on recording because I think some of the textures are a bit small, some things are a bit difficult to make out.
I personally think it's definitely a game that you want to play in handheld.
Yeah, handheld gaming is I think the way to go with Stardew Valley.
So JB, over to you.
I'm gonna switch up the scene a bit and say something that I think a lot of people will disagree with me on, but I'm actually gonna say Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Oh, I love that game.
Now, it's a similar art style in that it's, you know, humanoid characters going around, you know, various locations. Although it is quite different, and of course one huge difference is the combat element that a lot of people that maybe just primarily want to play Animal Crossing for Animal Crossing may not like. But I think beyond story mode, if you work on doing things like completing your Pokedex or shiny hunting and hatching eggs, breeding, trying to find different like variants and locations of things, I think that it's such a fun game.
Shiny hunting could be like dreamy hunting.
Yeah, and even like raid dens, it's something that if you have a group of friends that all have the same game, you can meet up, you can trade, you can help them out. There's even some Pokemons that you can only get by trading with your friends. And from that element, because of the community aspect, and it's about, I guess, you befriending these creatures and you evolving them and collecting things, there's not any building, which is, you know, a shame, because there was, I think, in Pokemon Emerald, but I recommend Pokemon.
The next one I'm going to say is one that's not too well known, but honestly without this game I think that we wouldn't know. Honestly, one of like someone who's contributing so much to our channel right now, and that is Smash, because they've been amazing. So the game is Jurassic World Evolution, and there's like 6 different worlds that you can go into. It could be that you go into Jurassic Park as it's fallen and need to recover it, or you can build up a different kind of park that's been deserted and that kind of thing. And honestly, it's like similar to the design element in Animal Crossing. You place buildings, shops, that kind of thing where you want to. You generate the dinosaurs that you want, kind of like choosing your villagers. You can choose the dinosaurs, all that kind of thing. I really enjoy it. I honestly really, really do. It's a really fun game to play. Like, I feel like one of the reasons that I don't play it anymore is like JB said, because like we said, like 15 exams in 30 days, guys, it's a lot. So to justify us playing games, it needs to be something that is liked on the channel and that you guys are going to enjoy. And it kind of, I think it was kind of getting burnt out on the channel a little bit, I think it kind of needed to stop being played so much. But honestly, it's a game that if I ever had time off channel, I could see me piling hours into that.
I agree. And
again, just huge shout out to Smash, because we met them through that game.
Like, oh gosh, like, see, this is where this messes with my mind, because I've never ever been a people person, besides the channel or since the channel or anything like that. Like, I am very different on the channel than I am IRL in terms of people. Now, I value the people that we've met, like, doing this so much more than IRL people. Like, obviously not
honestly,
really,
like,
but
JB, I don't know, JB's an amazing person, but I do think you find it difficult to engage sometimes. Like, I'm very, like, family orientated. My family has this rule where if you don't speak to each other every day, then you must have disappeared off the face of the earth. Whereas you're like, okay, I've not spoke to my sister for about 2 years now, literally, kind of thing, and it's fine.
The last 4 Christmases, like, not even a word.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I guess that sucks, but oh well.
So, like, but on the channel, like, JB honestly loves, like, obviously we both do, but, like, you know, JB just takes this under his belt so much in, like, replying to every comment, the kind of games nights that we have with some of the people that we've toured, all that kind of thing. Yeah,
but it scares me so much, because like we were saying last episode, like, if I wasn't online on Twitter at that time, there would have been no, Annalisa friendship. And like with Smash, like, I remember seeing on the eShop that Jurassic World Evolutions was out, and I was like, oh well, I'm really obsessed with physical games, I don't really want to spend like £40 buying something digitally. And you were like, you know what, I understand that, but like, shall we just watch the trailer? We watched the trailer and I was like, oh my gosh, this actually looks really good.
I kind of want to restart it,
But just thinking that because obviously we just launched a brand new podcast that comes out every Saturday, which is the plan, about Scooby-Doo, that, like, Smash is literally our permanent, like, co-host with that series. And just thinking of, like, if you never downloaded the game, if we never played that game for the channel, that we would have never met Smash.
I remember shouting them out in every video because they were giving me, like, helpful tips in the comments section. And before every video, JB would because JB like full on manages the channel, is incredible, and he used to go through the comment section with me before every video, like, Smash has given you this tip,
like,
make sure you shout it out.
That Smash guys.
Smash has told you to do this. Try doing this on the video, and like make sure you say thank you to him. Like, honestly, so many things fall into place. But moving on from that, I think we got a little bit sidetracked.
Yeah,
what was your game?
I'm going to give 2 honourable mentions. Now, these are 2 honourable mentions that I kind of want to lump together because they've come out at a very similar time and I don't think I've played that much of them. But it's going to be Miitopia and Pokemon Snap.
Yes! Okay, I love playing both these with JB. It's amazing in Miitopia how you can, like, create characters. We've had so much fun on the channel, like, almost to the point of where we've been mocking your family a little bit, recreating some of them. And
it's not true.
Are you kidding me? The stuff you said about your sister's character.
Yeah, well.
Anyway, it was really fun. And I, like, recreated my gran, so I kind of bullied her a tiny bit in that recreation. But it was just really fun to kind of engage doing that together. It was incredible. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I, like, full on jumped on the 2 things you were saying there.
No, but I was just thinking, with Pokemon Snap, there's no combat as far as I'm aware, and it is quite literally about traversing a kind of a perfect world with fantastical creatures in.
See, one thing that I was thinking about Pokemon Snap, and because I really enjoy it, and I wanted to recommend it, but I didn't know how I was going to link it to Animal Crossing, and I think in that it's just all about taking pictures, you're permanently looking for that perfect aesthetic and the perfect placement. Like, you want things facing a certain way. And like I was saying earlier, people's islands are like artwork. It is about that perfect placement. So I think you can link them to that eye and that end, and it's just about having an eye for things. Like, seeing.
And Miitopia is just customization and everything like that. I don't know, I can't really link it to Animal Crossing a lot. But I have noticed that on our channel especially, a lot of the people that love what we do with Animal Crossing have also loved what we've done with Miitopia. And so...
I mean, I'm quite excited about Miitopia at the minute. JB and I got to go on our first date on that a couple of days ago, didn't we?
Yeah, and then some naughtiness happened at the hotel. So... It was
yeah, you stole all the food, didn't you?
Yeah, I had the... What did I eat? I ate the...
It was a banana or something, right?
And then there's like... What can you get from those pigs? Like rotted pig flesh? Like, there's this weird
Isn't that
meal.
Minecraft?
There's this weird meal you can get, and I don't know.
The next one, I think, looks like something that people would like. We've not actually tried it yet. We've just bought it, and that's Story of Seasons.
Yes! Oh,
so
my
we
gosh.
did buy that. We do want to play it on the channel. Please comment to kind of build some hype for that and let us know that it's something that you want us to do, because we've not actually reached out to doing that yet, but something that's there.
I enjoy it. I love to see it. I think that was me, to be honest. I mean, I'm sure I could go and get all of our Switch games and like go through them one by one, but just on the top of my head without much, real thought to it, just so I kind of know that I'm not just like gonna plug things that I personally enjoy playing. Then I guess from that respect, I'll just quickly check the Switch, because I feel that...
Before you do that, I was thinking that coaster game we downloaded where you design a theme park could be quite good for anybody that likes Animal Crossing.
Maybe, but I'm not too sure.
Mario Maker, again, creating things.
Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, always fun. Beyond that, though, I guess just take some time to look through the eShop if you ever get a chance, or obviously, if you don't feel comfortable going to stores yet, that's completely understandable. There's Amazon. I'm sure in America, maybe Walmart and Target do click and collect. I'm not too sure, but...
Yeah, I think you could even click and collect on the Amiibo cards at Target.
Oh, I want some more Amiibo cards, though. I really do. But yeah, I think that more or less does it, to be fair.
Indeed. So guys, we are going to move on to the questions section of this video. Remember, if you have any questions you'd like us to answer in the next video, please comment them below.
So here's a question that I kind of don't feel comfortable fully answering, just because, well, not that it's anything bad, but it's just something that I can't really relate to, at least not given the topic of this podcast, but it's... So my question is for you is, do you like the May Day event, and do you agree that the winter update was the best there? Was the best?
Okay, what did we get in the winter update?
So, winter update... I don't know if that
Jingle.
encompassed Franklin, but I guess we'll say that had Jingle, or the Christmas ornaments, or the Toy Day things. I think that's it. And to be honest, I don't think it's the best, but I think some of the best items are from that. Like,
okay, I would say I do miss winter. I really liked all the kind of lights and decorations and things. The update was good. It was good. I loved all the new items, like, the houses and things. Like the Toy Day stuff, you could get the houses. I love how people have used them to make almost like fairy gardens or miniature towns on their island. There are some really incredible things. For me, the best update, I still think, was the first May Day one where we got Leaf. For the hedges and all that kind of thing. I think that, for me, was kind of a standout.
I mean... The difficulty is that I always feel that whenever I'm in some type of moment where I enjoy something in Animal Crossing, when I look at the whole year in general, it feels like other stuff was more prominent, if that makes sense.
Maybe Festival.
No, well, I think back to autumn when the grass started to get a bit brown and the leaves. There was like a gradual progression. It felt like 1 month they were just a bit grey, and then they got a bit more crimson, and then they went full on brown, and it felt like that was how Animal Crossing was for months and months and months. And I think back now, and for all the snow was, I guess, around for that equal amount of time, I feel that it got so much worse. Like, it started off like you could roll snow people, and it was fantastic. And also there were Christmas lights in all, like, most of the trees that were around the island. And then all of a sudden the Christmas lights went, and then the snow people started to melt, and it was just kind of like we're literally seeing this beautiful thing deteriorate.
I mean, I think
I don't like it.
The sadness of that is they tried to make it a bit like real life. Like, January blues is an honest thing that people suffer from when the lights come down after Christmas, but the nights are still really dark. And I feel like people escape to Animal Crossing, so to have something that's an actual, like, IRL problem recreated in the game was a bit like, oh.
And it was in like a limbo phase where after the winter update, you know, obviously, I guess within the winter update there was New Year's, which was absolutely fantastic. But literally from there up until I think it was Festival, there was nothing to do design-wise that was new. And I didn't like that. Like, we only just started, like, from the Gatsby Island that we were working on relatively recently, before that it was the winter update, there was nothing in between. So we were literally just taking our Christmas stuff down, like, March.
Mm-hmm. Didn't they mention the May Day event in the question as well? So, in terms of the May Day event, we've not done it this year, but we were really excited last year with the potential that it could unlock, that you could go to this island, that there was this challenge there, because I think in one of the old games you could just go to an island where there was mini games, and it kind of showed that there was the potential to do that. I just think it needed to kind of continue some hype from that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really done much Mayday things, and I feel bad because I feel like I should be, but at the same time it's like I feel like we've evolved a bit more in terms of, like, you know, players of the game, and that I don't think I would rush to do the stamp rally again or rush to do many of the events again, but I want to embark on new features and new projects with
I would like to point something out here. In that, I think this is where they're going wrong. The stamp rally, we just got a couple of plaques to put up on the wall. After the entire jingle event, we just got a picture. After Rover this year, you just get a picture. The last year, it was just a briefcase. There are so many amazing in-game items.
The briefcase was good though. Yeah. The briefcase was pretty good.
But I just think there are so many amazing in-game items that we just get handed to us. And then for these more basic ones, we have to put on a full parade kind of thing. That maybe the rewards for them should be higher.
I think Kato said it best. Like, the stuff that was new last year should be, you know, what we can just get in Nooks now, and the stuff that's new this year should be a reason to go back to the events.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's the Burnout thing. I'm sure I'll get over it eventually if there's a new update. But right now I'm very much in a stage where, unless I think about something really cool to do, which I have done, like, I've got a few concepts that I'm working on. But other than that, I think I'm a bit burnt out. So we have a few here from Jason, obviously.
Hey Jason.
So, I don't know. My voice is actually kind of going.
Do you want me to read for you?
Yes, please.
Okay, question 1. Ooh, most important. World 6 Castle, understandably, was a bit of a mess, but still a decent level. What are your thoughts for tomorrow for when you tackle World 7? Hint, no awful bomb timing puzzle that's guaranteed. Surprise thumps, however, may make a return. I believe they feature prominently in some of my special world castles. So, World 7. I feel like this has been a bit of a hit to you because, like, we've not actually recorded Ready for Tomorrow yet, and we also have an exam tomorrow, so this is like okay, this is even more stressful than normal for one of Jason's levels, but are you thinking it's going to be a good reward for when you finish your exam, or?
I mean, here's the thing. And Jason, I think you're lying to me. I think you're deceiving me here. It wasn't a decent level. It was awful. Like, I've never. It's been it's been the most pains I've been in my entire life. Like literally, I've in my, how old am I? 23 years of being here. I've gone through about 7 or 8 life-changing operations, and I've never been in as much pain as I've been in doing that level. So I think you're lying to me a bit there, Jason. But in all seriousness, I think Jason does do some awesome things, and I'm actually really looking forward to the surprise thwomps, you know, because I feel like that was a standout. Like, in fact, that may be my favourite level of all time from Jason's. You know that one where you start off and you kind of have to zigzag along that level and avoid the thwomps that go from right to left. Like, to me, that's like one of the best levels that Jason's ever done. And Oh, I don't know. I may be getting my hopes up a bit prematurely. And obviously, I joke about with Jason a bit and everything. But I actually really do think that the surprise forms will be a good return and a welcome return, to be honest.
Okay, question number 2. After World 8 Castle, which should go out on Monday the 17th, how do you feel about being 50% of the way through with all the required castles?
Alright, to be honest, Alright, I'm fine. I'll live.
Are you sure?
I'll live.
So they did follow that on by saying by required, they means the one that they advertised prior to the agreement as the ones they've uploaded after don't count.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're going to challenge JB to them anyway.
We're not going to challenge anyone to nothing. Okay, so the next one is, what do you think to the little hint that I dropped of me currently working on your own private castle? Would you trust me if I said there were no traps, or would you be quite reasonable to be skeptical? So, I really like it, to be honest. Like, for all, like, Jason has given me a lot of pain and misery in, like, the time of us doing the channel and stuff. Like, I've seen a preview of the JB and Millie castle, and it is just heartwarming to know that, like, literally just starting off, like, getting so excited and so giddy that, like, we knew that, 3 people were watching us that weren't people that we'd, like, DM'd our account to, like, parents and stuff saying, hey, we've started this, please check us out. So, to know that there's, like, a whole different game, which wasn't the game or one of the games that we started the channel with, like, that's getting that type of attention, It does make me feel very proud at what we've achieved.
I mean, it is very heartwarming. Like, we've put a lot of time and effort into making hopefully the best content we can for you guys, and to see something made for us is just incredible.
And I am a bit skeptical about the traps.
Yeah, I do think that, honestly, Jason is doing this after seeing you suffer. He knows what gets under your skin. Like, I feel like there is going to be rising lava, there's going to be randomized, like, enemies, all this kind of thing that he knows is your worst nightmare.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I think from what I've seen, it looks amazing, but I feel like it's just got a really nice front to it, and there's going to be a lot of burning lava behind that very nice exterior.
Maybe. So, question 4.
Ooh.
Would you be willing to play any future levels uploaded by me, if any, and add them to the Jason's Castle series? I'm not being negative either, as I have not made a level really since the 6th of the 1st, 2020, which was Troll Castle 2, and so I do have some genuine doubts about the frequency or quantity of uploads, but I want to strive to make some interesting castle levels based on the super levels based on the Super Mario Maker 2 World Maker update, and the added Mecha Koopas and the Koopalings, etc. I don't know, here's the thing, and this is where, like, I kind of, again, feel bad for, like, talking about this or anything, but my issue with that, especially around the exam season, and even going on to that, like, kind of expanding our horizons a bit more, is that it is a lot of, and this is going to make me sound weird, but it is a lot of stress and pressure to put myself through every time we do these levels, because I have got the tendency to get very frustrated, very forlorn, when, like, I can't do a certain level, or when I'm getting a bit confused, and it is consistently our 10th most successful video out of the last 10 videos that we do. Like, every time, it's on the bottom of things in terms of likes, engagement, views, so it's kind of like every week I know that I'm going to beat myself up to the tune of the least successful video we upload, and obviously, that isn't what it's about. I do enjoy, what we've said that I want to try and do, and the challenge that I've taken up on. But I think at this stage, I'm not going to, like, rush to, like, latch on to, like, any more levels as such, just because it's, like, I don't know. It's just, like, a combination of all those things kind of weigh down on me a bit, and it makes me a bit sad. But I guess that takes us to question number 5.
Which is, what do you think to the fact that both Tifa Horror and Gervy Dog are both trying to steal JV's fate by liking my tweet about doing my Super Mario Maker 2 troll levels with a face cam. I now really want it to happen. They're the final required courses in the initial series after all.
No. Question 6.
To be honest, I have seen you get really angry at the level, so I can see why you want to say no to that.
Yeah, just no. Just no.
How do you feel about the fact that 2 of 3 of my troll levels actually have checkpoints?
I think that's a godsend, to be honest. And I've said this about a lot of Jason's levels, that the only thing that I can fault is the lack of checkpoints. Not in that I want to be able to make it easier and like cut half the levels down, but simply the fact that there's a lot of puzzles that require very specific and accurate movements towards the start of the level, so that if you then slip up later down the line, not only are you subjecting yourself, to doing that all again, but people watching the videos to you having to do all that again. But with the addition of checkpoints, I'm actually really hyped about that. I think that's going to be fantastic.
I feel like you sound like you're under a false sense of security there. I think you're like, half the work and then it's guaranteed. I think the level's going to be double the length, so you're still going to have to go through the same amount of repeating yourself to get to the checkpoint, to then have to go through the same amount of trouble again.
Well, I don't know. I guess I'm just thinking about it more in the context of the levels that we've done. Maybe it's not going to be that helpful, but the idea of checkpoints, I'm still quite happy. I'm happy. So we've got another one again, the last one from Jason, that I'm not really that keen on answering, because basically they want to thank us for doing the levels with a Mermaid World DIY and everything like that. And I think that just takes us full circle now to the point of, I guess, the show and everything. Well, not the point, but just the topic in that. I'm finding it so difficult to boot up Animal Crossing lately, let alone trying to arrange a time in the middle of exams. Like, obviously, I do appreciate it a lot, but I don't know. I feel that if I personally get given a Mermaid World that I've been looking for so long, then that's one other thing that I'm not going to log on to Animal Crossing to try and get. Because right now, that's the only thing I can think of. Like, okay, I can dive every day and hopefully try and get a Mermaid World. Whereas now, if it's just a case of let's log on and let's have it given to us, it's like, okay, yeah, I love that a lot, but, that's like a few days that, again, I'm not going to log on to Animal Crossing because I've got what I want.
Okay, so that does it for the questions section. Again, guys, if you'd like to ask us any questions, comment them below, or you can reach us on Twitter and Instagram at jmillievids. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Like we said, let us know how you deal with your burnout. Comment below anything that you would like to see in the future of the channel. Like we said, we think June could be a very big month coming off the back of the exams with a lot of progress made. So again, let us know what you'd like to see. So just so you don't miss out on any of that, make sure you like, comment and subscribe.
JB and Millie.